Okay, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Yashodhanandana Braja Ranjana. Yashodhanandana Braja Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Yashodhanandana Braja Ranjana. Yashodhanandana Braja Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Yashodhanandana Brajajanaranjana Yashodhanandana Brajajanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Shri Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Shri Radha Madhava ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In our invocation verses together, please, Sanskrit and English translation. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devyam sarasvatim vyasam tato jayam yutirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Sarasvati, the goddess of learning, and to other Sri Vyasadeva, the author. Nashtapreya Shabreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering a service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome in the heart is almost completely destroyed. and loving service unto the personality of God, whose praise with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Gyantimirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranvitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master so kindly opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Hare Krishna. So we'll start with 9:21:19, and then we'll go to 36. And text 21 is our focus verse. Because we have about 17, can we please read 2 verses at a time, please? And if you're, we'll read the purports, except for our focus verse with the translations, please. Do we have a mic? Yes, we do.
From Garga came a son named Shini, and his son was Gargya. Although Gargya was a Kshatriya, there came from him a generation of Brahmanas. From Mahavira came a son named Duritakshaya, whose sons were Trayurani, Kavi, and Pushkararuni. All of these sons were of Duritakshaya, took birth in a dynasty of a Kshatriya. They too attained the position of Brahmanas. Brihatshrata had a son named Hasti, who established the city of Hastinapur, now New Delhi.
So they're born Brahmanas, or Kshatriyas, and they became Brahmanas. Okay, next verse. Go ahead.
From King Hasti came 3 sons named Ajamida, Dvimida, and Purumida. The descendants of Ajamida, headed by Priyamida, all achieved the position of Brahmanas.
Purport. The verse by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, Jai. This verse gives evidence confirming the statement of Bhagavad Gita that the orders of society, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra, are calculated in terms of qualities. Oh wait, this is actually our focus verse. Let's keep going. We'll get back to this. That's our focus verse. My bad. Yes, 22.
From
please.
Ajamita came a son named Brihadishu. From Brihadishu came a son named Brihadhanu, and from Brihadhanu a son named Brihatkaya, and from Brihatkaya a son named Jayadratha. The son of Jayadratha was Vishada, and his son was Shenajit. The sons of Shenajit were Ruchirashtra, Dridhanu, Kashya, and Vatsa.
The son of Ruchirashva was Para, and the sons of Para were Prutusena and Nipa. Nipa had 100 sons. King Nipa begot a son named Brahmadatta through the womb of his wife Krutvi, who was the daughter of Shuka. And Brahmadatta, who was a great yogi, begot a son named Vishwaksena through the womb of his wife Saraswati.
Purport. The sukha mentioned here is different from the Sukadev Goswami, who spoke Srimad Bhagavatam. Sukadev Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, is described in great detail in the Brahman Vaivarta Purana. There it is said that Vyasadeva maintained the daughter of Jabali as his wife, and after they performed penances together for many years, he placed his seed in her womb. The child remained in the womb of his mother for 12 years, and when the father asked the son to come out, the son replied that he would not come out unless he were completely liberated from the influence of Maya. Vyasadeva then assured the child that he would not be influenced by Maya, but the child did not believe his father, for the father was still attached to his wife and children. Vyasadeva then went to Dwarka and informed the personality of Godhead about his problem. And the personality of Godhead, at Vyasadeva's request, went to Vyasadeva's cottage, where he assured the child in the womb that he would not be influenced by Maya. Thus assured, the child came out, but he immediately went away as a Prakrakacharya. When his father, very much aggrieved, began to follow his saintly boy, Sukadev Goswami, the boy created a duplicate Sukadev, who later entered family life. Therefore, Sukakanya, or daughter of Sukadev, mentioned in this verse, is the daughter of the duplicate or imitation Sukadev. The original Sukadev was a lifelong brahmachari. So we're very proud of our science nowadays, but can you make a copy of yourself?
Following the instructions of the great sage Jaigishvaya, Vishwaksena compiled an elaborate description of the mystic yoga system. From Vishwaksena, Udakshena was born, and from Udakshena, Balatta. All these sons are known as descendants of Prihadishu.
The son of Dimita was Yavinara, who was the son of Kritiman. The son of Kritiman was well known as Satyadriti. From Satyadriti came a son named Ridanemi, who became the father of Suparshva. From Suparshva came a son named Sumati. From Sumati came Sanatiman, and from Sanatiman came Kriti, who achieved mystic power from Brahma and taught 6 samhitas of the Prachasama verses of the Samaveda. The son of Kriti was Nipa, the son of Nipa Ugrayudha, the son of Ugrayudha Kshemya, the son of Kshemya Suvira, and the son of Suvira Ripunjaya.
30. From Ripunjaya came a son named Bahuratha. From Purumidha, Purumidha was sonless. Ajamidha had a son named Nila, by his wife known as Nalini, and the son of Nila was Shanti. The son of Shanti was Sushanti, and the son of Sushanti was Puruja, and the son of Puruja was Akra. From Arka came Bharmyasva, and from Bharmyasva came 5 sons, Mudgala, Yavinara, Brihadvishwa, Kampila, and Sanjay. From Bharmyasva prayed to his sons, "O my sons, please take charge of my 5 states, for you are quite competent to do so." Thus his 5 sons were known as the Panchalas. From Mudgala came a dynasty of Brahmanas known as Maudgalya.
Among the sons of Brahma, Yasava had twin children, one male, other female. The male child was named Divadasa, and female child named Alayla. And from Aruma, Alayla seems her husband Gautama came as a son named Santan and
Okay, which verse? The son of Santananda as Satyadriti, who was expert in archery, and the son of Satyavritti was Saravan. When Saravan met Urvasi and discharged semen which fell on a clump of grass, from that semen both 2 auspicious babies were or male and female. While Maharaj Santanu was on the hunting excursion, he saw the male and female children in the forest, and out of compassion he took them home, and consequently the male child was known as Kripa, and the female child Kripa later on, who became the wife of Dronacharya.
Wow, those are names we know, right? At least I know. Some of these names I'm like, most of these names I'm like, don't. But when you get to a name, oh, I know them. I know them. You can imagine that Sukadev Goswami and Sutta Goswami, they only heard this once. And literally all of these names, there's a way that people tell stories. And it's you see the story why you tell it. It's a very powerful way to tell stories. If you just try to tell the story by remembering a sequence, it becomes very tough. But if you remember a story by you see the actual activities going and speak of it, it becomes very easy to tell a story. So if you ever want to tell a story, try not to memorize the story. Try to see the story, what's going on, and then you just narrate it. So you can imagine that, they're narrating these stories, and how it's amazing that they know and remember all of these names. It's amazing. Purport. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 9th canto, 21st chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled "The Dynasty of Bharata." Okay, let's go back to 9:21:21. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Ajamidyo divimidyascha. Ajamidyo divimidyascha. Puru midyascha hastinaha. Puru midyascha hastinaha. Ajamidyasya vamasya suhu. Ajamidyasya vamasya su. Priyamedya, Priyamedya dayo dvijaha. Priyamedyaha adyo dvijaha. Ajamidyo dvidvinidyascha. Puru midyascha hastinaha. Ajamidyascha vamasya su. Priyamedya adyo dvijaha. Bolo, please. Ajamidyo dvidmidyascha. Puru midyascha hastina. Amadyasya vamasya su. Primahedya dayo dvijaha. Amidyo dvidmidyascha. Puru midyascha hastinaha. Amidyasya mamasya su. Priyamedya dayo dvijaha. Amadyo dvimidyascha. Puru midyascha hastinaha. Ajamidyasya vamsahasu. Priyamedya dayo dvijaha. Okay, please, sentiments, word by word, together, please. Amidyaha, amidyaha. Divimidyaha, divimidya. Cha also. Puru midyaha, puru midyaha. Cha also. Hastina, become the sons of Hasti, Ajamidyasya, of Amidya. Vamasyaha, descendants, Su, are Priyamadya Adyaya, headed by Primahadya. Dvijaha, Brahmins. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. From King Hasti came 3 sons named Ajamidya, Dvimidya, and Purumidya. The descendants of Amidya, headed by Priyamidya, all achieved the positions of Brahmanas. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This verse gives evidence confirming the statement of Bhagavad Gita that the orders of society, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra, are calculated in terms of qualities and activities, guna, karma, vibhya, gasya. All the descendants of Ajamidya, who was a Kshatriya, became Brahmanas. This was certain because of their qualities and activities. Similarly, sometimes the sons of Brahmanas or Kshatriyas become Vaishyas. Brahmana, Vaishyatam, Gatyaha. When the Kshatriyas or Brahmana adopts the occupational duty of a Vaishya, Krishi, Goraksya, Vami, Jaham, Vavijmam, he is certainly counted as a Vaishya. On the other hand, if one is born a Vaishya, by his activities he can become a Brahmana. This is confirmed by Narada Muni, Yasha Yal Lakshmana Prokatam. The members of the Varnas, or social orders, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra, must be ascertained by their symptoms, not by birth. Birth is immaterial, quality is essential. Birth is immaterial, quality is essential. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So about the last 6 times I've given class, 5 of the purports have been about Varnashram Dharma. So, Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, I'm not sure exactly what chapter is, but in the part where we're talking about Lord Ramachandra, in this 9th canto, he talks about that to have a society that becomes very competent, very good, very much in line with Dharma, we have to have Varnashram Dharma. And in that purport, he goes on to say, the most important thing is the Sankirtan movement. But just before, he actually makes a very strong statement: without Varnashram Dharma, then society can't be ran nicely. And so, these don't contradict each other. They actually show us how we should prioritize our life. And that priority is that we are first and foremost surrendered to our spiritual master, our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, who's given us a process by which to go back home, back to Godhead. And that's to chant Hare Krishna, follow 4 regular principles. He asks us, he says that there's things that can be very, very beneficial to this, like rising early, going to Mangala Arti. And if you read the Nectar of Instructions and just Srila Prabhupada's books in general, he gives us so many hints and so many details about how we can really speed up the process of Krishna consciousness in our life and move quickly to going back home, back to Godhead. But he said when he was asked, Srila Prabhupada, about his movement, he mentioned that he left with 50% undone. And the 50% undone was the system of Varnashram Dharma. So we can see that this is a very important aspect of our culture that we're trying to establish in our Hare Krishna movement. If we are chanting Hare Krishna nicely, Krishna surely will protect us. The thing, though, is that when we're outside of our Varna, things become very difficult to see how to make progress. It's like throwing water on a fire. the fire might be strong enough to dissipate the water, but it's not such a good idea. If you want a big blazing fire, you should put firewood on it. So Varnash Dharma is meant to be helping us by throwing more wood onto the fire. See, when we're outside of our Varna, well, first of all, this world is full of suffering. Right? We talked about this yesterday in Nandini Mantraji's wonderful class. It is, at every footstep, there's suffering in this material world. So we can't get away from it. But our jobs as devotees is to make this suffering a benefit. We're supposed to make this suffering worth something. If you read Srila Prabhupada's book, The Teachings of Queen Kunti, oh my gosh, what a book. In the 8th chapter, he talks about so much about this, about how the devotee is seeing all obstacles, all sufferings as the mercy of Krishna. That they are simply an obstacle put for us to gain a relationship closer to Krishna. If you've ever been on a team and playing sports, when you go through adversity and you do it in a way that's complementing each other, you get closer to each other. If you see people that come back from military, they have such a strong bond with their brothers in arms. When you're on the battlefield and your backside is dependent on the person next to you, you get pretty close. You're going through some stuff together, right? So similarly, when we go through difficulties with Krishna and we go through it together, then our relationship with Krishna just grows stronger. But without Varnashram Dharma, what happens is we start to take on the problems of other people. We take care of other people's problems and we're not taking care of our own problem. For instance, you're at the office and the boss is asking you to do this, this, and this, and this. And a person could say that this is my problem if the boss. Yes, but is it your problem in the sense of it's adjacent to your Varna? If it is adjacent to your Varna, the problems that you have at the office and the difficulties you have will help you grow. The problems will help you get closer to Krishna. However, when you're away from your Varna and you're taking on other people's problems, it's very hard for the mind and the intelligence to see it as an opportunity to serve Krishna and to grow from it. The system, our tools, aren't built in the way to do this. Our mind becomes disturbed. Our intelligence becomes distracted from the real purpose of life. And it becomes difficult. If you're curious about this a little bit more, what are you thinking about when you're doing your japa? Are you thinking about other people's problems that you see as your problems, but they're really other people's problems that you've taken on voluntarily? However, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that if we do our nature, if we do our duty even imperfectly, it is better to do that than somebody else's duty perfectly. Why? Because when we do our duty imperfectly, something amazing happens. We grow. If we're doing somebody else's duty perfectly or imperfectly, it's hard to grow from it. The system, the tools that we have can't. So you'll see a lot of devotees, they get frustrated so much that they call their work, which is supposed to be devotional service, they call it their material life. And I understand it. You get so frustrated, you can't compute how this is Krishna's service, so what do? You throw it off to the side and say, this is my material life. I can't handle it. I can't see how it attaches to Krishna. It disturbs me. It doesn't give me any benefit, so I throw it off to the side and say, this is material life. The Bhagavad Gita says that that's not necessarily what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to engage our nature, our work, our duty in Krishna's service. So what I thought we'd do real quick is in the Bhagavad Gita in the 18th chapter, text 41, Krishna gives the symptoms of the nature of a Brahmin in the Varnas, and also gives us a few other really nice instructions. 1841, please. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras are distinguished by the qualities born of their own natures in accordance with the material modes and chastiser of the enemy. 42. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities of which the Brahmanas work. If you look at these, a lot of these are in the Nectar of Instruction, where Rupa Goswami says that these are 6 things that are favorable to Krishna consciousness: confidence, these are in Shishastakam. There we go. Tolerance, honesty, religiousness, self-control. How do we become Goswami? Peacefulness. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that attaching to him, our mind and our becomes peaceful, and that our intelligence becomes transcendental, and this gives us peace. And without happiness, or without peace, how can there be any happiness? Let's go to 43. Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the natural qualities of work for the Kshatriyas. Farming, cow protection, and business are the natural work for the Vaishyas. And for Shudras, there are labor and service to others. By following his qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Now please hear from me how this can be done. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all-pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work. It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions. Every endeavor is covered by some fault, just as fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up work born of his nature, O son of Kunti, even if such work is full of fault. So Krishna is very clear that we should do our own work. And so, I was mentioning that we're taking on, so when we're outside of our Varna, we're taking up problems that aren't problems that help us grow. And this is death of the soul. Now, let's be clear that because of chanting Hare Krishna and doing sadhana, it overcomes so much. Krishna will take care of us. But the Bhagavad Gita and the instructions we get are meant to help us. So we want to follow them. So the question might be, why is somebody not doing their work? I'll put that out to you guys. Somebody who's not working within their Varna, why do they do it? Why do they work in such a way that's not aligned to their nature? To make money. Okay, to make money? I can repeat it. Go ahead and just shout it out. Say that last part. So even the money situation isn't really taken care of in a long term? Oh yeah, right? I mean, that's why people are having so much trouble right now, right? But people But I can see, we can understand that some people in the short term are thinking because of money, right? How about social reasons? My parents want me to be this. Or it gives me a position that people appreciate. My friends appreciate me because I'm this. How about mentally? It's easy work and I get paid good. It's convenient. I go home, I go to work, I drive my bus, I throw in my ear pods, and I listen to Srila Prabhupada's books, and every once in a while I get a tough customer. But hey, nothing's perfect, right? So mentally it can be very easy to do the thing that's simple, but even that's short term. In a sense, when we try to do the easy thing, the mind gets agitated because it needs its nature to be performed. And so we might seem peaceful, but all of a sudden we get mentally agitated because we're not performing the nature of the thing that really gets the energy out that we need to get. So you'll often see people who are performing austerities that are above their realization. They become frustrated and they get chippy and they get quite mad. Because in the soul, they might actually be feeling some pleasure in it, right? They might be getting some benefit, but the mind becomes disturbed. And so it chips, it does this, and it does it, gets disturbed. Oh, thank you. I got some water right here. I appreciate it, though. Thank you. You're very kind. So, again, we can overcome these by Krishna's mercy. But it becomes very difficult. And when that difficulty comes, it comes at the cost usually of other things in our life. And the biggest cost is our preaching. When we're outside of our nature and we're so disturbed, we have to think about ourselves. It's natural. The mind is going, I need help. Help me. I need this. Protect me. Srila Prabhupada talks about fearing, right? Defending. The intelligence, oh my gosh, we have to, I'm going to walk into office and my boss is going to bombard me with all the things that he wants right at once, and I know it. So it protects itself. So it uses so much energy and so much intelligence to try to protect itself from these things that are not good for it. But when we work in our Varna, the mind starts to actually go, ha, this is it. This is what we're meant for. We're doing it. And we go, and our intelligence says, yes, and we do it for Krishna, right? And the mind goes, sure, sounds good to me. It says, no problem. Until it becomes very natural and easy to dovetail it in Krishna consciousness and even go further and to understand that it's our service for Krishna. But unfortunately, we have lost this system of Varnashram Dharma through our education. Our education process just teaches us math and English and these things that are very necessary, but they don't teach things like your character. They don't teach things about like your nature. They don't teach mental health. They don't teach about what good friends really are. They don't teach about the people you hang around have an influence on. They don't teach association. And so we just run out through life trying to do the best we can. And what happens is things outside of us start to put the pressure, they put their needs on us, and we do it. Oh, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And so this person is pushing very hard for me to do it. Okay, let me do it. So my encouragement I wanted to say is a lot of you are parents. Some of you are parents. Some of you aren't. And that's okay too. Prabhu's snoring. Put him to sleep. Here. It's all good. I'm sorry. I heard the snoring and it just cracked me up. It's okay. Let him sleep. Is that often we pick a position because of societal pressures, because of money, because of position because our parents want us. And really, let's try to understand our kids' nature and understand that money will come, social health will come. Let's just move them towards Krishna, the service that they're naturally born for to do with Krishna, and things will be taken care of. And in your life, if you work like this, encouraging others to work in their varna, the thing that's healthy for them, the unbelievable thing happens is that we actually start to increase our understanding of our service. When we help other people find their service, when we help other people encourage them, we get this amazing thing, this reciprocation from Krishna. And he says, you're so kind helping this devotee come to me and how to serve me. I will help you. It just automatically comes. It's pretty amazing. So let's develop a community. Let's develop a process where we're encouraging each person with compassion about how to move towards the service that Krishna and Srila Prabhupada really have them. Those that already know that service, let's keep on encouraging them. And those that don't know, let's try to help them to find it. Those who know it, let's encourage them to move forward. And those that we can align with, let's try to help each other so we can increase our services. And we'll see our movement start to move into a way where this Varnashram Dharma will really start to become natural. We won't be dependent on money, our social positions. We'll be more focused on how to serve Krishna best in our nature. And then our problems can be very, very substantial. It's 8:20. Any questions, comments, thoughts?
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
There's another class on Varnashram Dharma. Haribol.
I thank Krishna, at least I've been able to go in a little bit of different perspectives each time.
That's very
You know,
nice.
I was like, don't give the same class.
Thank you very much. So I just wanted to acknowledge, my dear friend, Tulsi.
Mm.
So Tulsi Saki is a working professional, has a very brilliant mind, and that's part of her nature. The part of her nature is she's also very Brahminical. And she sits here every day and, to organize all the speakers. She makes Prabhupada's vases every week. So what I'm saying is you have both natures. People have both natures sometimes. They have the intelligence and the fortitude to be working in the world and are very accomplished. So that's one aspect. But another aspect is the nature, the innate nature, because actually she's quite rabbinical. So I wanted you to comment on that because there's both things happening oftentimes.
So what happens is we have a predominant nature. And so it's not just Tulsi Saki, but anybody you talk to, they'll say the thing that nurtures them at the work really connects with whatever nature they have. There's things we don't like to do at work, and there's things that we do like to work. So you'll notice that there's things that we do and like, yeah, my work really tough, this, but this I like about my work. And that is usually, if we're unattached enough, we can understand that that's part of our nature being fulfilled. And we have to sometimes ask some deeper questions about it, because Urmila Prabhu talks about the area of art. I believe she calls it the artistry. And just because you like art, which is considered a Sudra Varna, there's different reasons why people do art. If you do art for the purpose of when somebody sees my art, it makes them think. It makes them go, wow, I just had a paradigm shift when I saw this. I went from thinking about this to like, when I heard this poetry, it should. And then there's art where the artist just says, I just want people to see it, and they just go, wow, that's beautiful. That's amazing. These are two different natures actually coming out the same thing. So we kind of have to go deeper sometimes into what is the thing that pleases them and say, what is the thing that really makes them go, ah, And this starts to show the nature. This starts to get what the predominant nature is. And then there's devotees who we all have a certain quality of Brahminical because Srila Prabhupada is encouraging us in a Brahminical society. So Srimad Bhagavatam, our rounds, these things and stuff are austerities we do that at first are bitter, but they become kind of sweet and we start to like it. So it helps us in the mode of goodness and bringing us to a certain Brahminical quality that we can, that are good quality. The mode of goodness at least is very prominent. What do you think?
Yes. In the last verse, I think it talks about Kripacharya. So Kripacharya was a Brahmin, but he was a warrior.
Yes, Dronacharya.
Kripacharya.
And Dronacharya. And Dronacharya.
But it talks about Kripa and Kripi
yes.
in that last verse. So, yes, it's true.
Right.
Kripi married Dronacharya, and then we had Ashwatthama, and then all the nightmares that began to happen. But my point was, Kripacharya was a Brahmin, but he was also a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but you have you have a predominant nature. Dronacharya was a Kshatriya, but he was the teacher of the Kshatriyas. So his first Varna was Kshatriya, but he was a teacher. He had the Brahminical quality to be able to teach people how to do it. So matter of fact, Urmila Prabhu says, matter of fact, that we don't even have two different natures. There's only one. She'll even go that strong. I don't necessarily agree so much. I can hear what she's saying. From what my experiences is that we can have these different positions within our Varna that our nature comes out. Like for instance, if you're a Vaishya, but you like to, your business is all around teaching and helping people with learning. Your business is being taken care of, but you might have some Brahminical qualities. There's always a predominant nature, though. The thing of what drives us. Mm-hmm. Yes, Tulsi.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for nice class. Thank you for all your appreciation, Mother Nandini. Very humbling. I had a question, Prabhu. So here we're talking about, like you said, Prabhupada wanted all of us to cultivate certain qualities. And even you mentioned Shikshashtakam, where the quality of tolerance is emphasized so much. And we can read very clearly that tolerance is a Brahminical quality. So we are all, the training in Krishna consciousness is to cultivate these qualities. We normally say these are Vaishnava qualities, and Vaishnava is even above and beyond a Brahmana, but these are essentially Brahminical qualities that we are cultivating. And then we're reading also that it is, you should stick to your basic nature. To follow another's dharma is not right. So how do we understand that we are asked to cultivate something which is clearly Brahminical quality, but we're also told that follow your own dharma, because to follow others, even if faultily, because to follow others is not the recommended path.
If I'm hearing you right, your question is, how do we continue to do our duty and also work within our Varna? Is that what I'm hearing? Or clarify for me, please.
No, my question is, we are being asked, and here also we're reading that, we're being asked in our movement to cultivate Brahminical qualities because they are pleasing to Krishna. And but here it's saying that you should stick with your dharma because to follow another's path is,
It's dangerous.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
is it because of our too, divey nature versus our,
Mm.
material nature?
So we should do our duty, and we're performing sadhana bhakti, which bhakti yoga, everything's within it. And through bhakti yoga, we're associating with pure souls. And there's amazing thing that when we associate with pure souls, it rubs on us. It rubs out on us. So we really don't have to worry about so much trying to develop the characteristics of tolerance in these things. Some people, they find it very fulfilling to like kind of cultivate them and work on them and be focusing on them, and that's good. The thing is that we focus on the bhakti from our duty, and we cultivate our sadhana bhakti that helps us to bring up our natures in these ways. So both of them we're on a parallel tracks, doing our duty, doing our varna, which might be a little bit passionate sometime, might take on these other qualities, but at the same time we're performing bhakti yoga, which is bringing us higher in those qualities that are just Brahminical, because we're associating with the purest of all Vaishnavas, Srila Prabhupada. So we don't have to, they just naturally develop in us. And if we're reading Srila Prabhupada's books, you hear tons of times about what tolerance is and humility is and stuff like that. And you just can't help but like try to apply it in your life. It's amazing. So, and within our Varna, we can still perform those different characteristics like tolerance, right? Is tolerance very valuable in your work? Right? Even when you're not so necessarily working in a Brahminical atmosphere, still the qualities that have produced because of bhakti are just so appreciated by others, This is why devotees are the best employees. This is why they have an easy time. Remember Hari Vilas Prabhu Maharaj was saying that he had a devotee that was asking him, who was having problems at work. And so what he said is, every time you have an issue at work and you get mad or angry or upset, then chant one more round. So he would do this and stuff. And so eventually he got promoted by his boss. And he was so shocked because he thought that he was not that good. He thought his boss didn't like him. But because of the qualities that we develop around our society, it's just, we go into the workplace and people are like, why are you so nice? Why are you so, you're so, they just like us because our fortunate position is to just be around Srila Prabhupada, and we get these qualities. Just be around him and they rub off. It's pretty amazing. What do you think? Thank you. It's your mic's off. Hare Krishna. Keep
Sorry, Prabhu. I was just thinking about all these questions, and I was thinking about the different advanced personalities in our society. For example, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj is very, how can you describe him? He's such a pure devotee, but he's also very, he's always been very gentle. He has his nature, right? And then you have someone who is also very dear to me, His Holiness Hridayananda Maharaj, who has a completely different nature. He can speak several languages. He is a powerful personality, has a great sense of humor. In other words, so they're all disciples of Srila Prabhupada, but you can't repress. It's like a diamond, right? Each facet has its own individual glow, in a sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can't change really that nature, can you?
This is such a good point, because this is actually what helps us in our, when you're living an authentic life and not trying to be somebody you're not, your authenticity comes out, and you can serve Krishna with much more synergy. And an amazing thing happens is you start to attract certain people that are attracted to your authenticity, right? Yes, if we go a little bit deeper, it's, I would say authenticity is even over nature, because authenticity takes in your nature and who you are, but it also can add into the fact of who Krishna is, your authentic relationship with Krishna, So this actually is, Srila Prabhupada said, unity and diversity. And this actually makes us a very diverse community, that we appreciate each other and go, that person can preach to people that I can't preach to. They're going to be able to touch people that I don't know. Therefore, I don't say that they're wrong. I don't criticize them. I don't look at them as a bad devotee. They're not following Srila Prabhupada. No, they're following Srila Prabhupada. They're doing a service that isn't quite me. But man, I really appreciate how they do it. I can see that they really want to please Srila Prabhupada and bring people to him. Oh my gosh, this devotee is a saint. Then all of a sudden, the little things that we like to bicker about in each other, and the differences, they just become actually our greatest value. That person, thank God that person is not the same as me. I will. There's some people on the street that we could preach to, and I can't. I won't speak the same language to them. Okay, we do understand that Krishna does overcome so many things, but that doesn't mean that we just don't. That doesn't mean that we just put it on Krishna's lap. We have to also put it on our lap, and our duty to understand how we preach, who's the people that we can relate to, how do we preach them, and it really becomes more natural. Yeah. There's a yeah, anyways. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. The story about how the man saw Urvasi, and just seeing her just completely blew his mind. And then the children were born there in the forest from that reaction. And we've seen that in a lot of women want to have that kind of power. They go to the beauty parlor, or they buy cosmetics, or they particular clothes they want to dress. Maybe they're jogging, trying to lose weight, and have something like that power, and then men are so affected by she just walked by, and then babies were born, so like in Wayne's World, there was that scene. Of course, this is a Carmi movie, so you probably wouldn't know what I'm saying.
I know Wayne's World.
But there was Dana Carvey sitting in a chair, and then this girl walks into the front door, and then there was this power, Dreamweaver, and then power.
Yeah.
He gets knocked out of the chair. So what is that energy, Shakti, something that everybody's kind of after in this material world, that produces more children and society?
Well, Krishna means the owner of all opulences, and so one of his opulences is beauty. So we naturally have a appreciation for beauty. It's just that we have forgotten what the ultimate beauty is, and so therefore we go to these lesser forms. But of these lesser forms, even our judgment becomes, that one's higher than that one. So we're all, trying to sift through what's the beauty of different cockroaches. That cockroach is more beautiful than that cockroach. You can imagine that the demigods are like looking at us going, hey, look at my little rats. You know what I mean? Our beauty is just so, but we're here on our perspective and our sense of reality, trying to decipher who's the best cockroach, but it's because there's a natural propensity to be attracted to beauty. The intelligence isn't there to understand that we're trying to be attracted to different cockroaches instead of let's go to the ultimate source of beauty, Krishna, and appreciate him and to get a higher taste.
The other question, if I may ask, is when Sukadeva Goswami split into two and made a duplicate, does that bring in another spirit soul, or is that one spirit soul? Is it like a mystic power? He can make 8 of himself, or something. How did he do the split thing?
What I understand is that the pure spirit soul can actually multiply itself. We can live in different dimensions and stuff. So actually, we can be in the spiritual world and be in Krishna Lila and Gauranga Lila at the same time by these splittings. I don't understand it. I don't think that we have the ability to understand it. But because the spirit soul has a minute quality of the Krishna's unlimited quality, Krishna can also split himself in it. So the pure spirit soul has a little bit of a ability to do it. Yeah. So it was still Sukadeva Swami working in these 2 different ways. No difference. No. Pretty amazing, huh? Wow. Okay, we're at 8:43. We'll end here. So above all Varna and ashram is Vaishnav. We are Vaishnavs. We produce, or we cultivate the qualities of a Vaishnav, and these are the highest qualities. All of the other qualities are within these qualities of a Vaishnav. However, Krishna has given us a system, and it's very beneficial to us to understand the system and try to apply it in our life. And Krishna will help us. And we become healthy in ourselves and our relationship with Krishna and with each other. And this is a great benefit to Varnashram Dharma and sadhana bhakti. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha. Kripa sindhu bhyevacha. Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Antikoti Vaishnava Vrindaki jai.